Good morning, my dear students. I welcome back all of the BSc FY students in the class of chemistry. This is Mr. Munditizi, Assistant Professor in Chemistry. In last lecture, we have seen the cause of periodicity, then long form of the periodic table, then modern periodic law, and after that the general characteristics of S and P block limits. The general characteristics of S and P block limits. In that we have seen how does the S and P block elements show different properties and form different complexes. Today we will see the characteristic properties of D block elements, or we say it as general characteristics of D block elements. In this, there are 7 to 8 properties which are given here for your study, and these are: the first property is all the D block elements are metals or metallic in nature. All the D block elements are metallic in nature. They have high melting and boiling points. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. And then next is they form stable complexes. They form stable complexes with other anions. It means all the metal elements of the D block group or the D block are metallic in nature. They have luster, ductility, malleability. They have high tensile strength. Then they have high melting and boiling points. All these properties of a particular metal are to be found in these metals. So all these metals elements are D block elements are metallic in nature. As these metals have, or the D block elements have, variable oxidation states, they form a number of stable complexes. A number of stable complexes. The next is the compounds formed by the D block elements are paramagnetic in nature. The compounds which are formed by these D block elements are paramagnetic in nature. It means they have some magnetic moment. As you know that the compounds which possess at least one unpaired electron are paramagnetic in nature. Hence, all these D block elements possess one or more unpaired electrons, so that they form paramagnetic complexes. Very rarely the diamagnetic complexes are formed in these D block elements, or this D block. Then next is they are hard and possess high densities. As you know, these are metals. The packing efficiency of these metals is higher. The packing efficiency of these metals is higher, so that they have higher densities. They form compounds with profound catalytic activity. As I said before this, the D block elements have variable oxidation states and they form compounds, various compounds. As these compounds are formed, they have the catalytic property, so that in most of the cases the catalyst used belong to D block group or D block, because they have larger surface area so that they can absorb maximum amount of the reactants, and they form catalyst in maximum numbers. The next is they show variable oxidation states. As you know that the D orbital can accommodate maximum of 10 electrons in its valence shell, or in any D block you can fill 10 electrons. In valence shell, when the filling of electrons occurs at that time, the valence electrons can be removed from the D orbital and they show a large number of oxidation states from +2 to or +1 to +8. The maximum oxidation state to be shown by osmium is +8. Then in group first, the manganese show +7 oxidation state, and then other elements also show +6, +5 oxidation state. All these oxidation states can be shown by these D block elements, so that the D block elements show variable oxidation states. The D block elements show variable oxidation states. Then next is D block elements form colored ions and compounds. Now see, the D block elements possess number of valence electrons, so that the D block elements absorb lights of different frequencies, and from spectroscopic view, these frequencies refer to the different colors, so that the complexes formed by various D block elements in various oxidation states show different colors. For example, cobalt +3. When cobalt +3 or in +3 cobalt in +3 oxidation state reacts with ammonia to form hexaamine complex, or when cobalt +3 reacts with sulfur H2SO4 to form copper sulfate, or cobalt sulfate, then it gives you cobalt sulfate. Also, when copper reacts with H2SO4 to form copper sulfate, newly formed copper sulfate is also blue in color. When potassium permanganate is formed, in which the magnesium is in +7 oxidation state, it shows purple color due to charge spectra, transfer spectra. It means the color of the D block elements is or the complexes of the D block elements is due to two phenomena. One is DD transition and another is charge transfer spectra. In this way, the D block elements show or form colored ions and compounds. Then the next is characteristics of F block elements. As you know, F block elements have been classified into two categories, actinides and lanthanides, and these are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. These F block elements also show different properties as compared to that of D block elements. In this, all the F block elements are hard metals. They have high melting and boiling points. They show variable oxidation states. Their compounds are generally colored. They have high tendency to form complexes. Most of the elements of the actinide series are radioactive. All these are the characteristics of F block elements. In this, as you know, these F block elements are also metals. These metals have the properties of a metal, that is, they are good conductors of heat and electricity, then they have malleability, ductility, and also other properties. Along with this, they are hard metals. Then they have high melting and boiling points also. Now they show variable oxidation state. As you seen in D block, that the D block elements show variable oxidation state because of presence of number of unpaired electrons or number of electrons in the valence shell. The F block also show variable oxidation states. The F block elements show +1 to +7 oxidation states. These are highly variable oxidation states due to presence of number of valence electrons in the F block elements, which can be removed easily from the atom, so that they form various metal ions in various oxidation states. Then the next is their compounds are generally colored. Their compounds are generally colored. It means as these actinides and lanthanides show variable oxidation states and possess unpaired electrons in their valence shell, they absorb the electromagnetic radiations in different regions, or they absorb electromagnetic radiations of different frequencies, so that these compounds or the compounds of F block show different colors. They show different colors because the absorption depends upon the number of electrons present in the outermost shell. Then the next is they have high tendency to form complexes. As they show, these F block elements show variable oxidation state, they can form a number of complexes. It means they have high tendency to form complexes. The next is most of the elements of the actinide series are radioactive. This is most important property. The lanthanides are generally known for their radioactive properties, and most of the actinides are radioactive. Radioactive means they emit energy. They emit energy which can be used for the various purposes. It could be either for making nuclear weapons, or it could be for either obtaining energy for our day-to-day life. This F block is very important. Most of the F block elements are synthetic. All these are the characteristics of F block elements. In this manner, we have seen the general characteristics of D and F block elements. Tomorrow we will continue the next point, that is ionization energy, electronity, electron affinity. All these properties which varies in the periodic table can be seen in the next lecture. So thank you up to that.